Hi guys, this is your daily general reading for Saturday the 22nd of May. Although whenever you find it, if it resonates, it's still for you. Any information for personal readings and my social media will be in the drop down box. What else is there to say? Not a great deal really, so I'm just going to jump straight in and do it. Like I say, any information that you need to know will be in the box below. I don't have Facebook or Instagram. MeWe is the only social media I use. So at present, email is the contact for personal readings. What else did I need to say? I'm sure there was something. It's on the tip of my tongue. Nope, can't think so. I'm gonna jump straight in. Once I've hit a few more subscribers, I'm thinking about doing the Saturday and Sunday readings as lives and pulling cards for those that are present. But we'll see how that goes over the next couple of weeks before I set a decision on that. But yeah, as this is your Saturday reading, I'm going to make this one a little bit longer, and I'm going to do a Celtic cross for this one. So that was quick. Where we're at, the Five of Wands. So there's some conflict, some drama, some challenge. What's the challenge? Well, we know what the challenge is, but we'll see what the cards have to say relating to that. The Devil. So in this card, in this deck, it's the decision card. Releasing anything that's toxic, that's holding you back. So I feel like this is possibly about people in your environment or perhaps behaviours, but we'll see. Recent past. Three of Cups. Sorry, bear with me, so I'm going to check the camera. Three of Cups, near future. The Six of Wands, that's good. That's progress from the 5 to the 6. So, where to focus? Peace, that makes sense with the Devil. This is the Death card in this deck. So, this is like ending a cycle. The strengths that you need to draw upon here. The Tower. Okay, so we've had a bit of a theme running through this week, and I feel like this is kind of a culmination point. What you need to do, what you need to know. The Three of Wands. We did have the Knight of Wands trying to show itself as well. I'm going to take that as a side note. The bigger picture, so what this is all about in your lessons and your growth. The Emperor and the highest possible outcome. Wow, so we've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Swords. Move that out of the way for a moment. Okay, so like I say, we seem to have had a bit of a theme running through this week, and this looks like the culmination of it. So I've just picked up this deck. We've also got the Devil at the bottom. Now, this won't be for everybody, as the readings this week have fit a few different scenarios, but there does seem to be an overlap between this and a couple of them. So we've got that Five of Wands energy. This is where you're at the moment. Let me move that out of the way. the Five of Wands is where you're at. It's the central point of the reading. So this is about challenges. It's about conflict. This is about different people kind of putting their two pennies in and, you know, kind of everybody clamouring for their voice to be heard. And the challenge to that is the Devil. So this could be a couple of things. This could be a toxic behaviour of your own. It could be something like, you know, excessive drug use or drinking, that kind of thing. But it could be an external energy, and I feel for most of you it is. I feel that this is somebody who is bringing conflict and chaos into your environment with that Five of Wands energy. I'm going to take a clarifier on both these. We'll see, I've got the Devil on the bottom of this deck as well. So clarifier on that Five of Wands, please. The Nine of Wands. So this is something that's gone on quite a long time. You've been the wounded warrior in this. Sorry, I'm just getting something come through. Bear with me a moment. Right, I feel like this makes sense of some of the messages I was getting in the previous readings as well. For some of you, this is a situation that you've been involved in. Not necessarily through choice either. This could be like toxic family members or a toxic ex, and you're trying to sort of vindicate yourself, you know, like there's ever been an untruth told about you, or people constantly trying to interfere in your life, and you are at breaking point with that. You've had enough. And it feels like you're trying to gain some kind of vindication for this, over this sort of toxic energy. But what I'm feeling, we'll see as the reading progresses, but what I'm feeling is the message is going to be here that you need to just come away from those energies and detach yourself and not worry about other people and what they think and what they say. Like, what other people think of you isn't your business kind of energy. Let me see, tell me something more about this Devil, please. The Eight of Pentacles. Now, that's a card of self-mastery, so for some of you, this is something that you've been battling with personally. Perhaps drinking, drugs, a toxic relationship. The point is that whichever way this fits for you, this is a life lesson that you've come in this incarnation to master. That's why that Wheel of Fortune is up here. If you don't want to see this mix complete, please watch the previous readings for this week as well, because they're just all tying up now. This is like you choose your lessons before you incarnate in. And this is you're being asked to see what it is that you're here to learn and to master that. Because you're going to keep coming up against that same energy. It's going to keep coming at you. You can't run away from your problems kind of thing. Because these lessons are going to keep being attracted to you until you've learned them. You've pre-contracted this. And the way you've been dealing with it hasn't worked. This is why the previous readings will help, because there's a lot of like clarification and illuminations in those via towers, which we've got the tower up here again. That's your strength. So that's why it makes sense to check out these previous readings, because it might help you to sort of pinpoint but this is about you gaining mastery over this Devil energy, this cycle. So whether it's your own or whether it's other people coming at you with something. And it's about you learning to like rise above it, to value yourself and not need that validation from others. What's this Three of Cups? So the recent past, that's kind of like things to celebrate. Could be reunion with people. So it could be for some of you like you've let a person back into your life. Again, that toxic family member situation. You know, you've tried to make amends with them and it's just gone straight back to the same old cycle. The High Priestess. Can I get another on that High Priestess, please? Right, we've got 2. 9 of Swords again. And the Star. Again, a couple of different energies here. Some of this is, for some of you, you suspected that, you know, sort of going down this road again was going to end up like that. You didn't trust your intuition. And here you are back in that cycle. You know, your anxieties are picked back up again. But there's the lesson. That's the learning curve. That's like the awakening to the situation. The awakening to, you know, for some of you, you're letting toxic energy get in the way of your own wants and dreams. People telling you have to be and do a certain thing or be a certain way. But this is your recent past energy. So this means that you are coming to these understandings. You are starting to see this for what it is. You're starting to heal some of that anxiety. You may be gravitating towards people that are better for you as well. So some of this cutting out of people you may have already done. But there's a lot about boundaries and self-love here. Again, look, the Devil at the bottom. This is a master lesson that you've come in here for. This is something that until you control this, until you get a hold of it, it's going to keep coming around. You know, if it's related to toxic relationships, until you've learned to walk away from those people and value yourself when they're not valuing you. Or, like, it doesn't have to be like a love relationship. It can be a family member. It can be a friend. Until you've learned to say, no, I'm not putting up with this and walk away, you're going to keep attracting those energies to you because the universe is trying to, you know, you've pre-contracted for that until you learn that lesson and you master it. However this fits, that's just one example. So where you're at now is, you know, you're kind of seeing this and you're realising it's gone on long enough. There's a feeling of being ready to surrender to some extent with it. So near future energy being that 6 of Wands, this is great. This means, like, you know, victory, some recognition. It's like the message I'm getting, I've got coming through, is like, you can't force people to see things from like your worldview or to understand you. They're going to see what they want to see, regardless. That's a reflection of where they are at, not where you are at. So that's a message for somebody. You know, you need to, when it comes down to it, the only thing that matters is that you love and respect yourself. And you can't force others to do the same. And if they aren't meeting the, you know, love and respect that you deserve, then it's on you to remove yourself from those situations and not to try and force somebody else to see that in you. Yeah, it's a message for somebody. Okay, so 5 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Now, the 5 of Swords can be an energy of, like, tit for tat. And it can go over and over and over and over and over again until somebody has stooped so low, they've gone far too below the belt. And I feel like this is kind of a warning for you to snap out of that cycle before you end up there, and that your victory is one that's gained from stooping too low. And then you've created yourself a whole load more karma. The Ace of Pentacles is because I feel like these are two separate messages. I feel like one, you know, that's the Five of Swords message with that one. But then also, for those of you that, you know, are grasping this lesson and doing your best to work through it, you've got an Ace of Pentacles opportunity coming with that Six of Wands. You know, when you've gained this victory in the best possible way, that Ace of Pentacles is like a financial reward, financial support. I'm going to get one more on the Ace of Pentacles, please. You know, I was getting a little bit, like, irritated that the week's readings were all coming out the same. But I can completely understand why now. And I just felt at last minute to do these weekend readings, like, a summary, you know, like a deeper one. So that the Saturday one kind of wraps up the week and helps you to understand where you're at. And then the Sunday one, so when I record that for tomorrow, will be kind of like the week ahead as well. Right. The Hermit. Could be some kind of Virgo energy there, but I don't really feel that. I feel that this is more to do with you withdrawing from this drama, chaos and conflict, and not needing to prove yourself to people and pulling yourself away from those energies. It's going to bring with it reward. So this is this is like your two options. You can either keep fighting this head on and using, you know, like a toxic energy to go back at this situation, which perpetuates a cycle, or you can step out of it. And there will be reward and recognition for that. I want one more with that Five of Swords to clarify here. Yeah, Temperance. You need to temper that temptation to go with that Five of Swords energy. You know, that like fighting fire with fire. No, you need to fight fire with water. Do you know what I mean? Like, Temperance literally is, it's about alchemy. You get the sun and the moon there, you know, fire and water. This is about changing it up, not doing, you know, what got you here won't get you there kind of thing. Already on 17 minutes. It's going to be quite the in-depth reading, isn't it? Okay, so I do feel like this is you beginning to master that lesson, though, because where you are at, you've got the challenge is the Eight of Pentacles, but, you know, Temperance is coming up with that Five of Swords, so it is you kind of realising that, no, this isn't working. Right, so where to focus? We've got the Death card, which is peace in this deck. So you can take that as a direct message. With that Hermit energy, it's pulling yourself out of that situation, releasing the past. There is a more enriching future coming. So this is about putting everything that isn't for you. It's getting to grips with closing the door on things that you know aren't good for you anymore. See, when it comes to people, and it's like you really don't want to let go of someone, you can see it as, you know, it's not goodbye forever. It's just taking a break. You know, and hope that things work out in the end, but you're taking the focus away from them and what's happening and putting it back onto yourself. Loving yourself, giving yourself that self-respect. Because to stay around people that aren't, or situations that aren't respecting you, you're doing that through choice. You can choose to stay or you can choose to walk away. And if you choose to stay, then you're choosing to be disrespected. You know, it's like we cannot control anyone else. We can only control ourselves. So we have to make those choices from our sovereignty ultimately that are best for us. So let's get something on this Death energy, this peace energy. Knight of Wands. So that could be about pursuing your passion. But I do feel like it could be the end of reckless cycles as well. Because the Knight of Wands can be a bit of a reckless energy. It charges in without thinking. Yeah, the Queen of Swords. Look, cutting out anything. It's cutting out anything that isn't working for you, that isn't good for you. There is also an energy of, you know, deciding what you want regardless of what other people have got to say about it and going for it and cutting out anything that's holding you back from that. Being in pure logic, do not let your emotions get in the way of it. You know, especially if you were dealing with emotional manipulators. These people are never going to hear what you're saying. You end up making a great big word salad out of any conversation. And it's like, it doesn't feel like it at the time, but cutting your losses and walking away is the only way to deal with those situations. And then when you've had the chance to heal it, you can see that that was the only way you were ever going to get out of that situation. So, strengths that you need to call upon change your life. AKA the Tower. As I've been saying all week when it's come up as well, that this doesn't feel like a bad tower. This is something that you have to see that it is for you. Sudden revelation that offers freedom. Break free of procrastination. Embrace the opportunities that change brings. So, clarifiers here, please. Yeah, the Ace of Swords, that's a mental breakthrough, clarity, truth, understanding, seeing things for what they are, using your mental perception and cutting emotion out of this scenario. This is what you've got to do. You've got to see it from above. You need to look at this as a third-person situation. If this was a friend and you were trying to tell them logically what to do, taking emotion out of it, what would you tell them? This is like evolution of your own spirit, you know, your own path, because you're learning to see it from multiple perspectives and you're learning to detach emotion that keeps you in that manifestation cycle of negative, like, things being manifested towards you, because you're pulling more of the same back to you. So this is you coming above the situation and looking at it from a bird's eye view, looking at it from above and seeing, you know, the logic and the truth in the situation and acting from there. With that, you've got the Six of Pentacles. So that's like karmic balance. It's equal give and take. This is you seeing the truth of situations where there isn't equal give and take, where you're being taken for granted, where you're putting too much in and you're not getting anything back. Again, these are all lessons that we've contracted to come in so that we'll stand up and say, hold on a moment, you know, I'm devaluing myself by allowing people to devalue me. This is like that complete breakthrough and clarity that's coming with this tower to allow you to see what's going on. So you've got to understand that this tower moment is giving you an opportunity. It can be a bit of a bitter pill to swallow. You know, kind of taking ownership of sort of saying that, wow, these people are treating me like this because I've let them. But it's very empowering once you do, and you kind of realise, nah, I'm taking my power back. Everything changes. Everything changes the moment you take those reins. Okay, so what you need to do with the Five of Swords, that was your near future. So I feel like this is saying that in the near future, this is where this Five of Swords comes in. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome and consider taking a more uplifting approach. This is that breaking that cycle of however it's been going around and doing something different. Fighting fire with water instead of fighting fire with fire. So let's have some clarifiers there, please. Death again. It's breaking that cycle. I was looking, as I was just speaking, I was looking at the figure of 8 on this 6 of Pentacles. Can you see it in the background? My eye was drawn to it. And I was thinking, you know, these loops, these cycles going round and round. And then look, we've got the Death card, the end of that cycle. There's only you can choose to break this loop. Take one more on there, please. The Two of Swords. Take the blindfold off. This is that logic. This is taking the blindfold off to the situation. You know. Seeing things clearly for what they are. But I feel you are going to do that because that's there in your strengths. Seeing the truth of the situation, and only you can change that cycle. We can't change others, we can only change things to what we want for ourselves. This could go for if it's somebody you're dealing with as well, that you've been trying to get them to change. You may think it's for their own good, but it's a hard truth to accept that people will only learn in their own time. They are here for their own lessons. And the more you try to control somebody, even when it comes from a place of love, it's still control, and it distorts the energy from what should be pure love energy, helping energy, into that sort of toxic, controlling devil energy. So if this is you in that opposite situation, this is what your lesson is. You have to let people be, as hard as it is. If it's too much for you and it hurts too much, then you can choose to walk away from that situation. Tell the person, you know, you love them, the door is open, but you can't go on watching or enabling or whatever the situation is. You know, leave the door open for them. It's not goodbye forever. It's just, you know. So this could work in a couple of different ways on that score. So what you need to know, the Three of Wands, which is a great card. This is some kind of ships coming in. Prosperity arising from wise planning. Time to take the next step. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. So this is, if you're going for something, you know, like if this relates more to career than relationships, and this is you cutting out toxic cycles and, like, you know, family members who are telling you you should be doing this and you want to do something else instead. This is saying that those ships will be coming in. You need to trust the universe. And the Knight of Wands, that's the need to take action. So that Knight of Wands down here as well, it is a need to take action, but inspired action. Going after what you're passionate about. What you want, not what other people want. Need some clarifiers on those, please. The Eight of Swords, yep, so that's that release from every reading I've done for this week is tying up here. The Eight of Swords is that it's self-limiting beliefs. It's having the blindfold on and feeling like you're trapped. You know, you're like in that disempowered energy. You're feeling disempowered. Like circumstances are against you, like the world's against you, like, you know, this is basically saying it isn't. Something will come in for you, but you've got to release those burdens with that Ten of Wands. You're carrying too much for other people. You could be literally carrying other people, you know, trying to help them or And it's because of some negative belief that you've got, you know, like that you have to, you know, do things for people. This is a big wake-up call that you need to understand that, you know, you can't fix and change people. You can only help yourself. You can't take on the burdens and responsibilities of others. Whether you've taken them on yourself or they're trying to put them on you, and only you can free yourself from that energy. So, the bigger picture, the Emperor. Stability. This has made me laugh. Stability and efficiency, taking charge of a situation, ambitious plans. This is to level you up. This is to level up your divine masculine energy. We all have both, masculine and feminine. This is you taking charge, setting boundaries, taking control. This is bringing you into that divine energy, learning that lesson. Bringing you to that stable, empowered, strong. This is also using your masculine energy. You know, you could be predominantly feminine energy, but to the point where you aren't using your own masculine in the right way at all, or when you do, it's coming across as controlling energy, controlling masculine energy, when the masculine shouldn't be controlling. It's supportive, yeah, you know, but so there's definitely a big lesson here in how you're using and collaborating with masculine energies. Yeah, look, Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. For some of you, this could be issues related to a parent, to a mother figure. You know, you've gained some habits, traits, you've been taught something by them perhaps. This is teaching you to stand by and support your own inner feminine energy, to go after, use your intuition, and to be self-dependent. Any codependency issues that are coming up with that devil, this is, you know, ridding yourself of them. Being completely independent and allowing others to be as well. So the bigger picture. So the highest outcome for this reading in this deck, the Nine of Swords, is about having unnecessary worries. So this is basically you coming to understand that a lot of your worries have been unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome that you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt or worry. Wheel of Fortune, new beginning, end of delays, a change in direction that offers happiness. So this has all been about you kind of, this is a huge cycle, a huge lesson, a huge part of your growth that you need to wrap up, and then the release of these worries and anxieties. I feel for some of you, this devil energy causes you so much anxiety and upset, and it's because you're trying to meet other people's expectations. And if you just release all that, release those burdens, release other people's beliefs, you know, if you're trying to fit in with people who are telling you one thing about how the world should be and how you should be, but deep down inside you're suppressing who you are to fit in with their worldview, you're never going to be happy. This is about freeing yourself from any of those energies. So can I have some clarifiers on this, please? The Six of Cups. For 1, this will align you with soulmates. For 2, this is a healing of childhood issues. For 3, this is past life stuff you've brought in. This is wrapping up a big cycle, not just for this lifetime, but for many lifetimes. The 4 of Pentacles, learning to release and let go. Learning to open your heart chakra. You're clinging to cycles out of fear. And there's a huge message running right throughout this of trusting the universe, trusting your intuition, trusting that your higher self, your guides, your inner being that is you, that is perfect, getting in touch with that energy and embodying it. I'm going to get one more on that, and I'm going to get some oracle cards. And then the Three of Cups, finishing where we started, look, going full circle. This is, again, it's that meeting up with soulmates. This is calling in your tribe, calling in the right people, because you're aligning with, you're setting your boundaries on what you want, how you want to be treated, and it's calling in that vibrational match because you're no longer accepting, aligning with anything less. It's celebration. The power's in your hands. You have to take it. This is a huge lesson in empowerment and sovereignty. The difference between, for some of you as well, like I said, it could be the opposite of that. You could be in the saviour energy. What we've got here is a victim saviour template. Somebody's in victim energy, some are in saviour energy. And this is breaking out of that and getting into your personal empowerment and levelling up on a major level. Okay, so I'm going to get a couple of oracle cards just to finish off. Are we still recording? Yes, we are. And some guidance and messages. This is like wrapping up the week, seeing where you're at. Look, intuition and manifestation. You're allowing all of this other stuff to block your own innate power, your own innate abilities, and it's preventing you from manifesting what you want. What you're ending up doing is because you're trapped in other people's false beliefs that are shaping your worldview and your perceptions. It's attracting that to you through these false beliefs. You're attracting more and more and more of it. What the universe does, what your subconscious does, you can believe something on one level, but if you've got that program deep in your subconscious, you will be magnetizing and attracting that to you. So say, for example, consciously, you've got the lesson that you are worthwhile, you are valuable, regardless of who you are, what you do, anything, your inner being is perfect. Consciously, you've been learning this and you know this, but in your subconscious, there is a program that's being put in there by parents, by society. You need to be a certain size to be attractive, or you need to have a certain job to be of value, and if these programs are still running anywhere in your subconscious, you're going to attract that vibration to you. That's your higher self's way, your subconscious way of making conscious what is going on. When people say to you, you manifest your surroundings and you've created this, that's what they mean. It's a subject that isn't explained properly or explained very well. And so this is why you're attracting it to you. It's not because you're a low value person, so you're attracting low value people. No, it's because there's a subconscious program that's running and your subconscious is trying to make you conscious of it so that you can get rid of that program. So this is really getting in deep and understanding why these lessons are being attracted to you so you can remove these layers of programming. Thus getting in touch with your intuition. Travel. Again, it's been coming up all week. Some of you, again, you won't travel. You can manifest that. You've got to remove these subconscious programs first, because they're what block your manifestations. They keep manifesting things that you don't want to you. But some of you, there is definitely travel coming up, and this is going to be something that's really good for you. So don't try to block yourself from it. And hidden motivations, brilliant card to round off on, because this asks you, again, it's a very similar energy to what I've just discussed with the intuition and manifestation card, because this says, what subconscious program are you running underneath? You think you want to do a certain job because you want to, or because it's going to bring you more. So say somebody wants to get famous and they say it's because they love singing, but really it's because they want the external validation of fans. Look at those hidden motivations, because they also have a subconscious program attached to them. If you're looking for external validation, then you're veering towards something that isn't working for you. So it's deep, a deep, deep, deep message with huge, huge, like ramifications for your growth if you can just come to get these breakthroughs and this understanding. But if you're around people that are pumping your head full of more subconscious programming, people who are saying to you, well, and don't get me wrong, you may be in the middle of a toxic cycle for something, say, heavily drinking, but when people are around you trying to tell you more and more and more that you shouldn't be doing this, it's piling on more of that negative feeling about yourself, and it perpetuates the cycle. So this could be addressing where people who may think they've got your best intentions aren't really helping you. Sit down and talk to them. Really go deep on what this is about in its totality. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to get on with the reading for tomorrow, which will be a similar outlook. This is looking at, the energies for Sunday and for the week ahead before I go to and then we'll get the general dailies throughout the week, just to sort of keep on top of where we're going. But I hope this helps, and yeah, any information for personal readings and stuff will be in the drop down box, as I said. So until tomorrow, thank you.